In a frozen forest where the sun barely rose, and where the air itself felt sharp enough to cut skin, a small, quiet Finnish farmer stepped into the snow carrying an old rifle with no scope. His name was Simo Häyhä. The Soviet soldiers never saw him. They only felt the sudden crack of a rifle echo across the trees. And then nothing. This is the unbelievable true story of the deadliest sniper in history. A man so silent, so hidden, and so precise that the enemy gave him a name that still sends chills through military historians: the White Death. Before the world knew him as a legend, Simo Häyhä was just a simple farmer. He lived in a remote Finnish village near the Russian border, tending to his land, hunting in the woods since childhood, and living quietly with his family. He was short, humble, and soft-spoken. Nothing about him suggested he would one day change the course of a war. But in 1939, war erupted. The Soviet Union invaded Finland in what became known as the Winter War. The Finns were outnumbered nearly 4-1. Soviet tanks, artillery, and soldiers poured across the border, expecting a quick victory. But they had not prepared for the bitter cold, the deep snow, or the terrifying skill of Finnish marksmen. And among them, one man stood above the rest. Simo Häyhä answered the call to defend his homeland without hesitation. He reported for duty carrying his personal rifle, a Finnish-made M2830, iron sights only. No scope. He preferred it that way. Scopes could fog up, reflect sunlight, or give away a position. Iron sights were simple, reliable, deadly. The temperature during the Winter War often dropped below 40 degrees Celsius. Breath hung in the air like smoke. Metal froze to skin. But Simo adapted, moving silently through the snow like a ghost, dressed entirely in white camouflage. He packed the snow around his firing position so it wouldn't puff up when he shot. He kept snow in his mouth to stop his breath from giving away his location. He didn't just blend into the landscape. He became part of it. Day after day, he hunted Soviet soldiers who advanced through the forests. He studied their routes, their habits, their mistakes. He waited for hours without moving, letting the cold creep into his bones. When he finally fired, it was always one shot. Clean, precise, enough. Soviet soldiers began whispering stories of an invisible sniper who moved faster than they could track and shot straighter than anyone they had ever seen. They started calling him Belaya Smrt, the White Death. Fear spread through entire units. Commanders warned their men not to stray too far from cover. Patrols were sent to find him, but they never returned. The Soviets deployed their own snipers to hunt him. They failed. They sent entire counter-sniper teams. None came back. They even began shelling forest blindly for hours, just hoping to hit him. But Simo simply moved deeper into the snow, watched silently, and waited. He could remain motionless for so long that birds would land near him. He was a master of patience, discipline, and instinct. Skills he learned not in the military, but during long, quiet days hunting in the Finnish wilderness. His accuracy was so legendary that Finnish soldiers started betting whether anyone could spot his firing position. None could. By February 1940, Simo Häyhä had become a one-man nightmare for the invading Soviet army. His confirmed kills climbed past 200, then 300, then 400. Every number seemed impossible, yet everyone was true. In just 100 days of combat, he reached at least 505 confirmed kills, still the highest number for any sniper in recorded history. And that doesn't include the dozens more he killed with a submachine gun during close engagements. He achieved all of this without night vision, without modern rifles, without advanced optics. Just iron sights, snow, and skill. The Soviets grew desperate. They deployed elite units specifically to take him down. Mines, artillery barrages, snipers, traps, nothing worked. The White Death always disappeared before they arrived. But on March 6, 1940, the Soviets got lucky. A Red Army soldier fired an explosive bullet that struck Simo in the lower jaw. His face was destroyed instantly. His comrades pulled him from the snow, unconscious, barely alive, his jaw shattered and half his face missing. Most soldiers would have died. But Simo Häyhä was no ordinary man. He woke up in a hospital days later, on the exact day the Winter War ended. Finland survived, and the Soviet Union, despite winning land, had suffered enormous losses. Many believed Simo's actions alone had slowed entire divisions, forcing the Soviets to hesitate and reshuffle their plans. Even after being torn apart by a bullet, Simo recovered. Surgeons rebuilt his face over the years, and he lived quietly for decades more, returning to the peaceful life of a hunter and farmer. He never bragged. He never glorified war. When asked how he became so skilled, he simply said, "Practice." When asked if he felt remorse for what he did, he answered, "I did what I was told to do. I did what I had to do." Simo Häyhä passed away in 2002 at 96 years old, still considered the greatest sniper who ever lived. A man who never sought fame, never asked for recognition, and never considered himself a hero. Yet the White Death remains one of the most feared and respected soldiers in history. A man who defended his homeland with unmatched skill, silent patience, and an iron will forged in the frozen forests of Finland. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. These stories stay alive because of you, and more incredible history is coming soon.